One flat tire is about to undo 8 months of doing everything right. It's Tuesday, 4:40 in the afternoon. The tow guy is running your card for $389, and you already know which automatic transfer you're canceling to cover it. 37% of this country can't cover one $400 surprise with cash. The Federal Reserve checks every year. The number barely moves. If you've ever typed, "Why can't I get ahead?" this is the answer. Every plan you've ever started was standing on nothing. Okay, breathe. Here's the good news. Last video, you cut the line, $200, 7 a.m. before anybody else gets fed. That video is linked below. But most people who make that move hand the spot right back at the first emergency. Today, why that happens, and the number that stops it. Smaller than you think. And it starts with a summer in 1933, when the whole country learned this lesson at once. Watch it happen to Maya. Because the 12 for 12 year you heard about last time, that wasn't her first try. Her first try died in month 4. $200, moving automatically, 4 for 4. Then Tuesday showed up. The tire, $389. No cushion, so there's exactly one place for that number to land. The card. And covering the card means you already know. Pause the transfer. Just for this month. Here's what nobody tells you about just for this month. It's never a pause. It's the off switch. Next month there's a birthday. The month after, the registration. The transfer that ran 4 for 4 on automatic goes 0 for 3 on memory, and the spot she took at the front of the line quietly goes back to the bank. One tire. That's all it took. Not because the emergency was big, because it had nowhere to land. And this is why the floor is setting 2, not setting 4. People want to skip ahead. Attack the debt. Start investing walls and furniture on no foundation. The first tire takes all of it because the extra payments stop, the investing stops, the card grows. And you're back at the start, calling yourself undisciplined. You weren't undisciplined. You were unfloored. Buildings don't fall because the storm was big. They fall because the load had nowhere to go. And if you think that collapse is a personal failing, it isn't even a personal problem. Whole systems fall exactly this way. Banks used to collapse just like you do. One bad Tuesday at a time. Let me show you what happened when the system itself had no floor.
February 14th, 1933, Detroit, Michigan. In the early hours, the governor signs an order closing every bank in the state. Families wake to locked doors, their savings sealed inside. It was not the first time. For 3 years, American banks had been falling like dominoes. A rumor would start. A line would form. Banks lend out most of what they hold, so a long enough line could kill a healthy bank by lunchtime. Between 1930 and 1933, roughly 9,000 banks failed. There was no deposit insurance. When your bank died, your savings died with it. Ordinary depositors lost more than $1 billion. By early March, the panic had reached almost every state. On March 6th, 2 days after taking office, Franklin Roosevelt closed every bank in America. He called it a holiday. It was an emergency stop. Then, on June 16, 1933, Congress passed the Banking Act. Inside, it was a new machine, the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation. Starting January 1st, 1934, every account was insured up to $2,500. If your bank collapsed, your money survived. The lines stopped because there was nothing left to run from. Since 1934, no depositor has lost a penny of insured money. 9 decades later, the floor still holds, silent, under every account in the country. But notice what the law protects. In 1933, the system built a floor under the banks and under the money you keep in them. It never built one under your life. If your income stops tomorrow, no law catches you. The banks got their safety net. You never did.
And it worked. It worked so well that you've never once wondered whether your bank will open tomorrow. Not once. The question doesn't exist anymore. That is what a floor does. It works so quietly, you forget it's there. The banks got their floor 93 years ago. Nobody ever built yours. So today, we do. Now, the official version says save 3 to 6 months of expenses. And look what that advice has produced. 27% of this country has zero emergency savings. Zero. Hand a stretched-thin person a $15,000 target, and they don't start slow. They don't start at all. Here's what the advice never tells you. Researchers tracked thousands of families to find the point where safety begins. It isn't 6 months. Families holding even $250 to $749 were 28% less likely to miss a rent or mortgage payment than families with almost nothing. And low-income families with about $2,000 saved rode out shocks better than middle-income families with empty accounts. Sound familiar? Position beats income. Again. So forget the mountain. Your first floor is $500. That's it. Not the finish line. The foundation. One tire, one copay, one vet bill lands on concrete instead of on your card. And where it lives matters, not your checking. A separate high-yield account at a different bank, earning about 10 times what the big banks pay. But the interest isn't the point. The distance is. 2 days away instead of 1 tap away. Boring, slightly annoying to reach, and invisible on a Friday night. It does not grow. That is not its job. Its job is to be standing there at 4:40 on a Tuesday. But here's the part nobody talks about. The floor was never about the emergency. It's about what the emergency takes with it. That tire didn't cost Maya $389. It cost her the transfer, the streak, the spot in the line, months of momentum gone. The floor's real job is to protect setting 1. An emergency fund doesn't protect your money. It protects your settings. Which means every time an emergency wrecked your plan before, it was never about the money. You didn't fail those months. You fell through a floor that nobody ever built under you. There's a difference between falling and failing, and nobody taught you where it is before we built it. Somebody you know canceled their transfer this month over one bad Tuesday, and they're calling it a character flaw. A like is how this video finds them. 2 seconds, and somebody else learns the difference between falling and failing. So here's the move. 2 steps, and the first one happens tonight. 1. Open the separate account. High yield, different bank than your checking. 10 minutes on your phone, free. 2. You already built the machine. That 7 a.m. transfer from setting 1, point it at the floor first. At $200 a month, you're standing on concrete in 10 weeks. At 50, it takes 10 months, and it still works. The floor doesn't care how fast you pour it, only that it's real. Then one card, taped inside a drawer, written before you need it. An emergency is unplanned, unavoidable, and threatens your home, your health, your ride, or your work. Concert tickets will audition for that list. The card says no, so you don't have to. Last thing, the one that keeps the floor alive. Someday the tire will come, and your brain will call spending this money failure. It isn't. Spending it is the job. The floor caught you, refill it first, then build again. And Maya's Tuesday did come back around this spring. Same tire, same $389. She moved it from the floor account, right there on the shoulder, and drove home. The transfer never paused, the streak never broke. Nothing else even moved. That's what it feels like. Not rich, calm. Tell me in the comments what broke your last streak. The tire, the tooth, the vet bill at midnight? Name it. Because somebody scrolling is one Tuesday from quitting, and your comment is the proof it wasn't just them. Second switch on the panel. Setting 2, the floor. The factory default. No cushion, so every shock lands on your card and knocks out your flow. The reset. 500 real dollars in a boring account, one bad Tuesday away from saving everything else. Index card. The floor comes first. 500 real beats 6 months imaginary. 3 steps. 1. Open the account tonight. 2. Point your transfer at it until it says 500. 3. Write the card that decides what counts. If you want your own floor number, I built a free calculator that runs it for you. No sign up, nothing to buy. Link below. And if someone you love keeps starting over every few months, it's probably not their discipline. Send them this. Floors are cheaper to give than rescues. Now, twice I've pointed at the guy in the line sliding in for his minimum payment, the card company. Setting 3, walk straight up to his desk, and I'll show you why the minimum payment is the most brilliant trap ever printed. The debt. That's the next video when it lands. Keep it locked till then. You were never bad at saving, you were building on dirt because nobody handed you concrete. Now you've got both hands on the mixer.